votes of the people. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. God is good for those on TikTok, for those on YouTube, for those on my Facebook, the Twitch, the nation. Doing something a little different today. I'm just reacting in real time to some of the people, some of the complaints that we might see. Um because it's going down. And so, it turns out if you kind of make any quotes or comments about anything, then people have some reactions to it. And so this morning, I'm just reacting in real time to my TikTok responses. So yeah, yeah, that's what we're doing. God is good. We're here another day. The weather is beautiful. The weather is beautiful in Florida. Big Bigs, Bill Bigsby, Tony Sanchez, Turner. What my Democrat friends who seem to get so offended. I need to speak to some of my Democrat friends who seem to get so offended. I really, really, really would like to welcome some conversation and like some, perspective. I don't understand why you have to be considered a coon. I don't understand why. I would like to understand, but it seems like it comes more from the Democrats. It seems like it comes more from the people that say other people are so hateful. Raymond, what's going on? Gary Pounds, what's going on? Sandra, how you doing? Hello, everybody. God is good. We here another day. Jason Taylor, the watermelon. I like that. Heather, how you doing? How is everybody doing this morning? God is good. You should be feeling good to be here. And so, anybody ever feel this way? It's like this is how we feel. Like we want to try to cut back on posting memes, but the government they just won't stop doing stupid sugar honey iced tea. Shout out to Van. Shout out to Van. I hope you and your family are recovering. You, not just you, but the whole family. Yes. Danny, what's going on? Can I get some Democrats to talk to me this morning? And like, I got blasted. I got blasted for talking about something that YouTube's talking about and Instagram's talking about, and some black Twitter, some Twitter X, I should say. And it's like when it comes to TikTok, they are so upset. And so we there is this lady, and the conversation of Rachel Dolezal came up. All right. Larry Griggs, how you doing? Max, Chris Wells. And so Rachel Dolezal, I just want to give some history. And I'm not criticizing Rachel because Rachel actually obviously was the bomb. And so, you know, um, because she was able to. Now, first, I want to say this. All right, yeah. I want to keep my thoughts cool. I want people to actually conversate with me. But based on the reactions that I got from this post, asking a question because the question was out there based on Rachel. And so Rachel was a white, all the way white woman. She was like Snow White, like really, really, really white. But This lady obviously had been around black people a lot. Obviously. Like she had a culture of she had all that. And so she was able to pull it off, with a lot of makeup, a great makeup. Obviously, she studied some great YouTube artists and some great content creators with makeup, or she had a great makeup artist. I'll say it that way. But when you're doing makeup 24/7, you got to be able to do it yourself. So I'm gonna just give Rachel credit for being a good makeup artist. And so this lady was able to pull it off as a black woman, but she was Snow White. Now, and when I say pull it off, I don't just mean pull it off. I mean pull it off to the point where she could go to college, school, be educated in a certain form of education, which would make her get into politics, which would make her get into civil rights. And this lady actually became the president of the NAACP as a black woman, you know, until people found out. And so all I'm saying, and I want people to really, really, people should actually look the pictures up. Look the pictures up. Look the pictures up. She was pretty much fair skinned, pretty much just like Kamala. And people seem to think that we're making an issue about color. Kamala made it an issue. Kamala makes it an issue every time she first she made it an issue when she first started running. When she, as Donald Trump said, when she first started identifying, okay, all right, all right, all right, I got a comment. That's what I'm talking about. Cancel this. He's like me. Cancel this. You know what I'm talking about? He or she. I'm not really certain, and I'm not. That's not a criticism. I can't see the. But say that is because the whole world is afraid of offending anybody. My brother, my friend, my sister, my friend. I'll just say, if you would love to come up, I would love to bring you up. And I don't even know what he's gonna say. But this morning is about conversating. Everybody seems to get so upset about a statement and they come with criticism. I mean, you got to have perfect teeth to actually make sense. And then I started thinking, because my teeth ain't great, but that's one of the first criticisms they hit you with. And I started thinking about all of these millionaires who got, not just millionaires, but all of these people who got these perfect smiles. They go and get their teeth redone and they're perfect. And they're perfect in their 80s. They got teeth like a 20-year-old. That's beautiful. And look how wrong they've been. So, yes, I have a right to speak even without a perfect smile. Cricket smile. Shout out to my brother. Shout out to him. Yes. And so, also the Fabulous. One time for Fabulous. And so, yes, 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 yes. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But I'm glad that you think that we must look perfect. The Gavin Newsoms of the world, the people who are called the most handsome and this and that. Oh man, they endorse the most crazy stuff, and they've gotten the world where it is today because we've been looking and listening to people based on upon how they look, not upon what they're saying. And so anyway, they were able to listen so good to this lady who obviously had slang, who obviously had culture, who obviously had been around some black people to be able to sit in thousands of meetings, to be able to sit in thousands of community meetings, to where she somehow became the head, the president, as they say, the HNIC of the NAACP. How is that possible without a little bit of black in you? Right? I mean, she was white as snow in her DNA, but what I'm saying is, in comparison, that's all. In comparison, we're talking about somebody who probably has some, give a credit. I don't know what a race is. I don't know what you know, when you talk to an actual Jamaican, they don't consider themselves African. And so, I'm just being honest. And so I don't really know. You can give her credit for being black, but as far as the black culture, Rachel Dolezal, somebody who was Snow White, if you look at her pictures, it's crazy. But this lady was able to go on and take the black culture, wear the right makeup, and become the president of the NAACP. And I would say that that takes sitting in a lot of meetings, being around a lot of black people, visiting a lot of black churches. But guess what? She didn't actually pander a lot. She didn't actually get caught talking in that Southern preaching accent. She didn't get in front of black people and talk a certain way and then get in front of white crowds and speak a certain way. And you mean what white crowds? Well, of course, she's the head of the NAACP. She spoke to white people as well, but she stayed Rachel. And so when now we have Kamala, who actually are on videos all over the internet, well before she had to become um started running for offices like VP and actually president first, and then the VP, she was nominated. But when she ran for president, that is when she started. I'm not talking about nominated and coronated to being president now or running for president now, but I'm talking about when she ran before. And when she ran before, that is when she started getting in touch with us. But there are videos all over the internet when she identified as the first Asian American. And so I don't find it offensive when people challenged her blackness. But I know culturally, when she comes out to pander to black people, when she comes out to try to talk black and act black and try to tells us she is a part of our community, man, it's awkward. It's really, really awkward. When she came on stage the other night in front of a black crowd and started talking about how y'all better y'all better do this to the union. Y'all better thank a union member. Y'all better thank all of these different things about y'all better, as we say it in the hood all the time. Y'all better recognize. Y'all better recognize. But later on, when she was in very white Pittsburgh, same day, same speech, she spoke very eloquently about how she felt. She articulated those same points. She articulated the same thing she wanted to articulate, but she articulated it in a way and in a fashion that said she was a very educated college graduate, person ready for being the head person in the nation. She spoke like a woman that wanted to be in charge. She spoke like a woman of power. I mean, not really, but she did. And people actually get so upset with me for actually asking the same question that people like Greg Foreman is asking. The black conservative perspective. People like Anton Daniels is asking. People like a righteous perspective. My brother Wise, the LRF family. I mean, there are content creators all over the internet because people don't want to watch Fox. So there are so many different people asking this question. Why does she have to pander to black people instead of just being herself? Why does she have to go on the internet and get some collard green recipe that sounds nothing like recipes in the hood? Why does she have to say, I worked at McDonald's to identify as the poor person, but when they do all of this research, even McDonald's themselves, They can't find records of her working at McDonald's. That is because she's continuously slapping poor people, black people in the face. And what gets me is she's laughing about it the whole time she's doing it. And y'all are mad at other people for standing up saying, wait a minute, do y'all see this sugar honey iced tea? Van, do y'all see this? Do you hear this? And they actually get mad at us instead of being upset with her. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But like my brother said earlier, that's because so many people are afraid to offend other people. And I don't understand what point that we got to in America or in the world where we are afraid to speak because we're afraid to offend other people. Especially when it comes to these type of things so paramount. We're not talking about just some new person that moved into the neighborhood. We're talking about president of the United States. Come on, man. As Joe Biden would say, come on, man. Wow. If you could see the comments that I had, if you could see the people that felt like they made so much sense in my messages, people that would embarrass themselves, that's why they won't come up on the feed and talk about it in live. Now I don't have anybody. If I was technological savvy, I would be able to look at the messages and read them at the same time, but I can't. Luxury finds for less. How you doing? Real Fields 209. What's up, Chuck? Denise, how you doing? Come up, talk about it. Yeah, man, Kermit. Kermit got the perfect look. You know, Ariel, how you doing this morning? I don't know if let's see.
I'm fine.
Oh my gosh, you're very loud. That is what it was.
Oh, sorry.
I turned it down. No, that was you, not me. That was me, not you.
Oh,
All right, I wanted to say something to you. I know I appreciate you always supporting, and I know you're a mother.
yes.
I wanted to ask you. I mean, does it bother you when first I'm not making it an issue, somebody else made it an issue? So,
Okay.
as a woman, do you feel like you need to vote for any other person just because they're a female? If that
No.
person, yeah, let me ask that first. Do you feel like you need to vote for them if you're just because they're female?
No.
All right. Do you feel like, as a mother, you need to vote for someone simply because she's a color?
No.
All right. Do you feel like, as a mother, you need to vote on substance and just substance? I'm going to just say substance, things that affect your life and the life of your children.
No.
Okay. All right. So what do you feel like you need to vote on? What issues do you take at hand when you're talking about going down to the ballot box and making a vote that's going to affect your life and the lives of your children for the next 4 years, if not more? And I will say, I'm going to let you answer that first.
Okay.
Just give me the simple things, not your feelings, things that you as a mother would go down and have in your mind when it's time to make that vote, despite what you may tell your family or that you may have to tell a friend or two. When it's time to go in that vote, it's just in that booth, is you, God, and your thoughts. What you gonna do? And what thoughts will drive your decision? Give me three of them.
Okay. My children, my health, and my fam. Well, you said not to say my family, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Okay.
Just like the better of the economy. You know what I mean? Like, um. Okay. That's the simplest answer I could give
All
you.
right, you said your children, your health, and the betterment of the economy.
Hmm.
And so we'll lump children in with family. And so expound on that. When you say your family, your children, what do you mean by that? I want you to open up on it so you can be heard. If anybody on TikTok would like to join us, expound on what you may think, even if it's a vote for Kamala. What things will you be voting for? I'm not here to criticize. I want you to open up my mind as well. But I would love to open up some minds as well, because we need to have the conversation. Some people don't like to have it. They want to sit back and criticize, and then when you ask them something, they have nothing to say. They have nothing at all to say. Okay. All right, let me I want to read this first. Kamala believes in 2A laws to protect our children. 2A laws. Oh 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 yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 24. Could you please expound on that? And Ariel, thank you for joining us. Open up that thought on what will you be voting for? I mean, what do you mean first when you say family? Give me that thought first. Quick.
Okay. Um. Well, just the fact that like um if anything, goes wrong within my family or whatever, that at least people would be able to seek help, seek resources, stuff like that, because none of that is possible right now. As far as when I say my children, like to be able to um, get them the best education that I possibly can, because right now it's like everything is just so like gutter filled, where it's just, and what I mean by that is like, you have to make so many hours just to get on the ELC list or waiting list, shall I say. And it's like once you're not working, it's like that don't help people that can't work, people that can't get jobs because certain jobs are um either lowering on the pay, you know what I mean? So it's like if I can't make as much as stuff really is in the world, then how am I going to be able to care for my children? Um, what I mean by when I say my health, I'm epileptic. So,
Mm,
um, you can't get certain insurances, and then it's like I'm also on Medicaid, so it's like Medicaid doesn't expand too far. Like you could call the insurance and say, hey,
wow.
can you email me a provider list of people in my city that can accept my insurance, you know what I mean? And having epilepsy, that's like really dangerous. A lot of people, oh well, my you know um situation is worse, but it's like, listen, everybody's situation is worse right now, especially with Kamala, Tim Walz, Biden, all of that.
Wow.
Bidenomics, that's like the most horrible thing ever in the world.
Wow.
And so I feel like families, period, which is basically everybody, because there's not one person in a family, it's a family, and it's just like if you can't make enough money to provide for your family, um, then it's just like might as well just say the world or the economy is extinct. It's
I
just like they trying to make everything to where only certain type of people can live in it, but it's like you're saying, I was raised around poor people and all this type of stuff, but you know, um, you're not supporting the poor communities. You're not
all right.
supporting stuff like that. You know what I
All right.
mean? So,
First, I really want to could you now let me ask you to mute that now for your background, but I
okay.
definitely really, really, really want to applaud you and thank you for sharing that with us because I really have a response to some of that. Oh yeah, how you pronounce that? Okay. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I did that. Let me turn you up a little bit. Hold on 1 second. Um, oh yeah.
Yeah, that young lady that was just talking, she said she had epilepsy. One thing that Democrats support and expand on is universal health care. Something before universal health care, she could be turned away from health care organizations or getting coverage because she had epilepsy, which is a lot of places considered pre-existing conditions. Kamala Harris wants and different programs to help people like her. So her being ignorant of the fact of who's really trying to help
Bro,
her
bro,
is
bro,
her
bro,
problem.
bro, bro.
Um,
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Democrats,
oh yeah,
Democrats
oh
are the
yeah,
one who
oh
wants to
oh
help
yeah, oh yeah.
and want to.
Oh yeah. Let me just say this because I'm welcoming you up. I appreciate you, but um, and I do understand the definition of the real true definition of ignorance, but you can't actually. I mean, for you to say it like that, for somebody who opens up and shares, that means you may not know her experience. So continue to expound. But I say that because everybody's sickness or illness is not going to be the same. Every coverage area is not going to be the same. So for you to just come out and say that for somebody who's sharing their own personal experience that you know nothing about, it would be a little bit. It's not fair for you to do. And while you sound like you know what you're talking about, I mean, it just that just probably wasn't the right thing to say. I appreciated what she said, and I know other people in the same predicaments, despite this thing that she wants to expand. Now, I say this to you. I say this to you, and then I want you to finish because I know I cut you off. Um, this is what I say. You can't just get upset with people for standing in their experience in real time and looking. See, this is the difference between looking at what's going on and recognizing it, brother, and saying, if it continues, this is not good for me. This is not about going on a promise. This is not about going on a promise. This is about sticking your hand in the wind and being true of which way it's blowing. And anybody sitting down in America watching what's going on, and if you are poor, you would have to be a fool to consider that you are important. Now, having said that, I appreciate you for coming up, Oye, and I would like you to finish your thoughts.
So, um, not negating her personal experience. I am negating her personal knowledge. Now, for her to be ignorant is not a bad thing. Oh, well, it is a bad thing when it comes to this political environment that we have today in this country because she is promoting someone who doesn't care, who wants to take away Medicare, Medicaid, who wants to extend the retirement age. He wants to take away policing accountability by giving police. She said her kids are important to her. She sounds like a black woman. I'm not sure. But if her kids are important to her, why would she promote or want somebody in office that wants to give police absolute immunity?
Well, actually, I actually hold on. Oh, wait. No. Yeah. But let me see. Hold on, brother. But when you start saying things that ain't true, I'm not gonna let you do that. So when you just said absolute immunity, one thing you're not talking to is a fool, and so you can attack somebody in their own experience, but let's keep it on facts. And the fact is, you still you're talking about a person's experience versus knowledge you might know, and not and things that she don't know. And there are things that even if she knew, you would be challenging the other millions of families that know the same information that is written. So the same information that she should be able to go down there and get and use, it don't always happen like that. And there are a million sisters who, if they heard me, they would say amen. So I understand what you're saying, but it don't always work that way. And there are a lot of Americans right now who is experiencing it. And then when you start talking about absolute immunity, there is no way. What you're doing is you're taking Democrat talking points. What I heard out of his mouth is qualified immunity. Do you know the difference between qualified immunity and absolute immunity? There is a difference, my brother. So don't get on here trying to just spit your talking points, because obviously you got upset because somebody shared their experience. And that's my problem with people like you, because now you have played your hand. People like you don't even want to hear somebody's experience without you trying to attack what they know and say who she's supporting. Why can't you look at why she's not supporting? I mean, why she's not supporting something. So let me tell you something that she didn't have to say, but I'll say it for her. Why could she not want to support a president who's willing to pass a mandate on tampons going in all bathrooms? Who picked the vice president to run on, who ran and mandated that in his state? This same man now has Minnesota, one of the that used to be one of the richest cities in America. Look it up. And now it is the most highest taxed city in America. So you are supporting somebody with a socialist and a communist agenda. So having said that, let me ask you, what have you done to prove you are about socialism? In other words, what have you brought to your community? What have you done to give you the right to, to stand up and say some of the things you're doing? Because you can't be speaking on black and civil rights. You can't be doing that, brother. Not if you speaking on socialism at the same time. See, now this is when my experience and my community service, my work around the world trumps yours. Because obviously, you are doing exactly what the Democrat Party is doing. By the way, the same Democrat Party that held our people down. By the way, the same Democrat Party that fought and still fight against our progress. So, yes, I would rather have a guy who is education. Is that what you're talking about, bro? Oh, yeah? Are you talking about education? Well, let me say what she probably didn't say. I would much rather depend on the education that I have, the educational system that it sounds like you grew up in, the educational system that I talk too fast sometimes because I'm into it. The educational system that probably our parents grew up in, where they were actually taught some things, brother. It is sad that my grandkids actually used to come home, you know, saying some smart things that blew my mind. My son, O'Shea, my son, Kelvin, my son, Black. They used to blow my mind because how advanced the education system had allowed them to get, how advanced things had gotten. And I was like, wow, y'all learning at rates we didn't learn. It was beautiful to see. But that experience is no longer, brother. Now they don't care about education. And so what you're saying is indoctrination of a different matter. I do understand that some of us were indoctrinated then too. I do understand that. I do understand America's first agenda. I do understand hoodwink. So I'm not, I'm there with you. But what I'm saying is the new hoodwink is worse. Is worse because at least we came out of it with an education, bro. Man, you can't even look at schools in the nation right now where it is heavily a black, high populated school where black kids are passing because education ain't all right. Let me let you get in. I know I said a lot and I appreciate you. Let me tell you something, bro. I really, oh yeah, I do appreciate you for being patient because I will say a lot, but I had to say it based on some of your response because it's obvious that you kind of waved your hand as a Democrat, and what I'm trying to do.
I'm gonna respond to you.
Okay, I appreciate it. I expect you to.
So you said that he wants to give him qualified immunity. Police already
That is what he said. Well, I mean, yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said.
Police already have qualified immunity in this country.
Well, yeah, that's been damaged a lot by the Democrats. That's been damaged a lot by the Democrats.
Donald Trump said and he wants to give police absolute immunity within our country. Donald Trump said he wants to give stop and frisk, make that a national policy. Now, how would that those two policies? How would they benefit the
Could
African
you,
American?
since you're up on the screen, could you pull any of that up? Since you're up on the screen, could you pull any of that up?
I don't have a computer in
All right,
front of me
yeah,
right now, but
I thought you wouldn't.
it's readily available anywhere. And since he's been running, it's been talked about for
Yeah,
many months.
I know. So was Russia. So was Russia.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you want to look at Russian collusion, if you want, since you want to mention that,
No, I'm
how
just
about
saying when you said
wait a
talked
second,
about means nothing.
wait a second. You want to talk? You just mentioned Russia, and I didn't mention Russia, but since you did mention Russia,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just ask you to look at the recent prisoner exchange that happened. That our country, that the Biden administration made happen, something that Trump could not make happen, even with his connection to Russia. Now, there was one man that was released at the time, and Trump did not make that happen. Biden made it happen. And then what does Trump do? He praises Putin for the prisoner exchange, which is collusion with Russia, because he's talking about how great Russia is and talking down our country, which is unpatriotic and definitely not good for our country. But I would like to go back to what you were talking about.
Yeah, because you totally don't know what you're talking about.
Insulting her. I wasn't directly assaulting that lady. I was insulting or commenting on her knowledge of the party that she supports. You're talking about a party who wants to end Medicare, Medicaid. You're talking about a party. You just said something about education. I'm 55 years old. When I was in school, in high school, when I graduated in '87, you can come out of my high school being a carpenter. We had drafting 1, 2, and 3. We had horticulture. We had cosmetology. We had we had a machinist program. This was in our high school. Now, Republicans have been taking these programs, taking the funding out of our schools and putting it into these little for-profit colleges. So who's really working for the American working people? When we now something that I don't know how old you are, but like I said, I'm 55. Something that you could have got when in '87 through your high school. Now you have to pay $18,000 to $20,000 to get.
All right,
Why?
all right.
Because they taking the funding away. These are socialist programs.
Okay, let me ask you a question real quick because I appreciate that comment. So let me ask you this: you said because I love what you said. Actually, that is what I'm saying. I think the more because the brother actually sounds, one thing it does take is a little bit of historical knowledge that comes with age, um and so he sounds like a good brother. He actually sounds like he is tied to his community, and so the more
Address that part neither.
okay, well, I'm just saying. I wanted to say this to your credit,
Address the problems in my city.
huh?
I said I didn't get to address that part neither.
Yeah, I just want. Yeah, I know.
About my working within the community, and I have a nonprofit within my city to address the problem of the inner city called CARE, Community Advancement Through Intervention, Reason, and Education.
Well, that's what I said. That's what I actually said, brother. You sound like somebody who probably has been tied to that. I can hear it. But and I also I just wanted to acknowledge because as you talk, I think that's the point of the whole. That's the point of everything for me. And so I might interject, but I'm interjecting for the benefit of the conversation. It's not that it's always a disagreement, but if you say something that because we're gonna have thousands of views on other platforms, so it's really just to widen the conversation and to make it more clear. And I was actually hearing that in your voice. I can hear it in your knowledge of a conversation. And so I was saying the more we allow people like you to speak and the honesty or the integrity that you may have to what you're speaking to, it will come out sometimes without you even knowing. And so, based on what you said, you talked about the education that you could get back in the day, right? Did you not?
Yes.
Right. All right. And so I spoke, and you were responding to me, but you strengthened my conversation, and that's my point. The education that we could get, the education that my son was able to get, the education that my mother was able to get. I'm saying compare it to now. You even said some things, yeah, I don't know who was taking them out because everywhere you look, you can look it up right now. The top 30 cities where black people are, I'm going to say that again, and you can look it up. I'm not talking about no little tiny black city like Largo, Florida. That's not a black city, but I had to pick a small city. I don't know a whole bunch of them. So if you look up the major top 30, so you go by your feelings, but I'm giving you numbers that you can actually look up. And so when you look up the major top 30 cities, black, predominantly black, 27 of them have been ran by Democrats. So you can say the Republicans because it makes you feel good to say. But that's like some people who say, well, there are more cops. I want to I want to thank my brother Anton Daniels because I was one of them people like you. I heard this brother say he was letting another brother know on his show. And so when you hear it, it sounds crazy, but it's like hearing somebody say, well, blacks are killing more cops than cops are killing blacks. And you would actually think, just on the cusp, but when you first hear it, you want to actually say, nah, cops are killing blacks in crazy numbers and this and that. But the fact of the matter is, it's outrageous how many more blacks and colored people are killing cops than cops are killing them, because one is pushed to, and I'm not I'm not speaking up for neither. I'm not saying this and that, but I'm saying those are the perceptions that we want to hear sometimes and run with it so we can push our own narratives. And so you spoke of your education that you received as a 55-year-old man. And now we got young black men who will be graduated without an education at all. All they have to do all they have to do is go to school, don't get in trouble, and do some of the right things. Their behavior is more important now than their education. How can I certify this or make this more real? When you look over in California, what used to be an A, or what used to be a B. Well, no, I said it right the first time. So what used to be an A, you can now achieve around B scores and still get an A. So they're dumbing down the grades even more and more. And it's not just happening in California, it'll happen in more places. And so for you to try to compare the education that is being received today by our kids and by the future kids of America to what we received, come on, man, it's not even close. But go ahead. I just wanted you to hear where your own thoughts were saying, because you can't hold back your own common sense. That's just who you are. God put it in you. And so the more you talk, it's gonna come out. And that'll be a little bit of truth. Sometimes, what we have right now is
A whole bunch of nonsense, though.
I
Like you
we
said,
really did I.
you said what used to be an A used to be a B, and you said that with no factual data. You
Well, all
said
you
you
got to
looked
do is
at
look it up,
cities.
bro. Like you
Wait a
just
minute,
told
wait a minute.
me.
You said look. You said you looked at most of the Democrat cities, and you didn't say anything bad about the Democrat cities. You
What
just
what what,
said
what
they
you
were
mean
run
ain't say
by.
nothing
They
bad
said
about it?
most of the major. You said most of the major cities were run by Democrats with no statistics on crime or
Well,
anything behind it. You just said.
what we're
You just
talking.
said.
You no no
Wait a
no no
second.
no no no, because you listening.
Let me
You're
finish.
listening.
And
No
then
no.
I let you say all that stuff, and then you
Yeah, but you need to hear it
I'm
correctly,
asking
brother.
you.
You got to hear it correctly.
I'm
No no no
asking
no no
you.
no no no.
So
I ain't
what
gonna
you
let you do that. No, you must hear it correctly, because that ain't what you're doing. You spoke of the better education, and then you spoke of the Republicans messing up educations. So see, what you need is everything written in black and white. But most people who are being logical understood what I was saying. You said the Republicans were taking all of the education and messing it up. And I pointed out to you, out of 30 top black predominant cities, it is the Democrats who have ran the top 27, and that goes back for 50 years. If you don't understand that, then you got a problem and you just in your feelings. Maybe I gave you more credit than you deserve. So now that you heard,
saying 30, but just what you said, you just said it again. You
oh.
said 30 of the top cities are run by Democrats.
Okay, so stop blaming it on Republicans. That's my point.
Wait a second. My point is, you didn't say crime in those cities were higher.
We're not talking about crime. We're talking about education, bro.
Let me finish my thought.
You ain't making no point.
I'm trying to, and you cut me off, so you
stick to what I said. No, see, that's because you want to put words in my mouth. No. We're speaking on education. You brought it up.
Wait a second.
Okay.
You didn't say the education in those cities were bad. You didn't say the education in those cities were bad or anything.
No.
You said 30 or 27. You said the number of Democrat cities, and you just
all right, man.
You said they were
all right.
about 30 of the top.
This brother want to argue, man.
About Democrats. You didn't say the education was horrible in those cities. You didn't say.
Brother, you said it, bro. I shouldn't have had to say it. You said it, bro.
What I'm trying to tell you is,
I'm just trying to, bro. I'm simply, yeah. We could talk about, bro. We could talk about crime. I want you to hear what you said, bro. That's all I want you to hear. And I responded to you. When you first spoke, I'm talking about when you first spoke, bro. What you said, my brother, my friend, my brother. Oh yeah. This is the only thing I want you to hear. When you first spoke, you said education, or actually you responded to what the sister said, what Ariel said about education being important. You came behind it and said, okay, she want to speak about education. This is how I feel about that. The Republicans are taking away the education. So I responded on education, and I was letting you know that it is the Democrats who have been running these black cities, the 27 out of the top 30. Bro, that is plain in black and white. It doesn't get any more simple. Now, if you want to talk about crime, we can add in crime, and I can hit you with the same stat. The Democrats, bro, you're not hearing me. You just want to argue, bro. You just want to argue, man.
I'm trying to finish the point, though.
You don't have a point.
Wait, you said Democrats are running these cities. My point is, you're not saying that the education in those cities versus red or higher or lower.
Yeah, they're horrible, man. If I just told, I did say it. Kids can't even read today.
Wait a second.
My God,
be able to look at the
man,
education
I got
in
it.
these red districts.
I ain't finna do this.
Because if you're saying that, and let me point out what I was getting ready to get into is poverty levels. We're going to talk about, if you want to talk about,
I just wish you would have led with that. You should, yeah, I'm gonna let you finish, but that's what you should have led with, bro, instead of coming at me acting like you didn't say something. No, well, you should have led with how you felt instead of trying to come at me acting like you did not. Nah, see, now you sounding like you're full of baloney, bro. And see, now you, bro, I'm just saying, lead with that. Okay, lead with I want to talk about poverty, but you brought up. Well, no. I'm saying what you said was education. You didn't say poverty. You said education. Man. Okay, but right, bro. I came. That's why I'm glad this ain't live. All right. No, bro. I want you to share your perspective, but I built where you left off. You have to acknowledge that you said education. Just acknowledge that. Did you not? Did you and did you not? Okay, all right. And answer one more question. And ask one more question. Answer one more. Did you already said you brought up education, right? Based on what the sister said, right? You brought and okay. And then after education, you blamed it on which party? All right. Republicans. So so okay, so just give me a little bit of credit. All right, right. And you said mess. All right, and so right. But bro, I just want you to hear me and stop trying to make it look like I'm trying to make you think. So I built. No. I want you to finish, bro. I swear I do. But just don't say I threw up education and then I threw up parties. I said to you specifically that the Republicans, you said specifically, the Republicans are messing up education. And I said specifically, it is the Democrats that are running the top 27 out of 30 black cities. And then I said, now the young black men in America, it is evident, bro, cannot even get a proficient reading or math level. I didn't say reading or math level, but I said they can't even read. And so now you're acting like that's not telling you that education is bad, bro. Come on, I don't have to tell you that. You should know this. If you're going to get up here on this feed, you should already know this. We're not getting fed the same education that we was back in the day. You out your mind if you think that. That's not in the curriculum, brother. What's in the curriculum is wokeness. So don't try to disacknowledge that. Don't try to act like I'm wrong on that, bro, because that's what you're trying to do. Nah, you brought the garbage up. You brought it up. You brought up education, and you ain't know what you was talking about, and you thought I was just some yo-yo head.
What is wokeness? You sound like a yo-yo head saying
Yeah. All right.
What's
All right. All right.
What's wokeness?
You wokeness, because you meant poverty. You meant poverty. That's what you meant. You come up here talking about Republicans taking education. People that gotta sound like you have to be politically correct. I just expanded on it. Or I could say it, how we used to say it. You sleep. So I'm gonna just read some real comments. And mommy Serena said, and the sexualization of the children. She understands what I'm talking about. I appreciate that comment, mommy Serena. Let's see. Do you ever vote, or do you know who your local representatives are? That could be. He's probably talking to me. He's probably just. I don't know. But you're not sounding logical. I don't know who Ronald is speaking to. Ronald, he's probably talking to me. I would love to hear 40 of Trump's 45 cabinet members are not supporting him to run because he's dangerous. Wow, that comes from J Man. I love, yeah, that's a very true statement. Maybe even 46. I mean, maybe even 41 at this point. All right. You're just reading from information put in front of you. I don't know who that person's referring to. In black run cities, let me see. This sounds like they are deprived of resources by white Republican controlled legislatures. Okay. That's almost impossible. You might need to read the footnotes of somebody who said know about your local representatives. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep stuff real, man. A lot of people want to argue. The first thing I made clear is let's have a real conversation. But a real conversation means listening to each other and then not saying that person just said something else. I only responded to what you said. So if you want to talk about poverty or what the other subject.
How we can have a conversation is allowing one another to finish, right? So my point I was getting to about the comparisons you made about the Democrat run city. Now let's look at some of these Republican run districts or red districts where you have a lot of poverty. When one thing we understand about poverty and education, it kind of goes hand in hand. When
I
you're
agree.
less
I agree.
likely to have education, wait a second.
I said I agree.
When you least likely to have education, you're going to have lower income. And why is it that Republican-led districts are the lowest educated and lowest income within the country? We have something that happens within this country is they want to talk about socialism a lot of time in these Republican-led districts when
All right.
Republican-led districts receive money from Democratic districts. It happens throughout the country. So you
Okay.
want to talk about where the poverty is within these Republican-led districts, Republican-led states.
All
Now,
right.
how could this be where these cities are so uneducated when, like that's where I was getting to. You're not looking at these red districts. with the
Well,
category IQs,
all right, all right. Well, all right. Can I respond to that? I'm gonna respond to that. I appreciate that comment. Now I'm just gonna be totally honest. This might be a shocker, but no, I don't look at Republican red districts because I should not. Wait, hold on.